Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids147. Happy 14th of June to you all. Happy anniversary to my hobby. We are working on the sunflower painting from the Paint Gem Minis today. It's flower time again. I am not fully organised here because I don't have my comments up and I haven't scrolled all the way to the bottom yet. There is a few comments on other videos that I need to respond to, but I am, there we go. Sometimes it just seems to go on forever and sometimes it scrolls past quite quickly, but yeah. I've just been recently doing some unboxing videos ready for both this channel and my other channel, Add More Zest with Diamonds, and I need to get out of an unboxing frame of mind and into a whip and chat. So I hope everybody is well. I did have a quick look through my AB diamonds for this one. I only have one yellow, and it's actually a little bit brighter than the one that is on this painting. And looking at this painting, that yellow is quite bright compared to the rest of the flower anyway. So I'm not actually going to put any ABs on this one. I am going to work with what I have. I am using the tray from May. So this is the mini. This is the zesty tray from May, and this is probably one of the darkest colours I'll be doing in this, though maybe some of the brown. And then I'm also working with another pen that was sent to me by Breanne and her boys. They actually sent me a set of 3, so this is number 2 of the pens from them. I have popped a glue dot in here because I did change quite a few tips to nice clean ones in pens that I could, so that I could add glue dots to them. So if you catch me dabbing it on my hands, etc., I'm just finishing up priming my glue dot the best way I can. But yeah, it is mini paintings time. I'm trying to think if I have any other updates for you. I don't think I do. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. If anything comes into my head, I'm sure it will be prompted by one of your comments and questions, so I'll get started on those. So Cheryl, she said her square today went pretty quickly. She actually finished halfway through the video. Well, that would have been a better square to do on one of the ones that got cut short. She said, are you doing another partnership with Diamond Art Studio or another company for the Christmas Advent this year? Or have you decided that last year was a one-off? She says, thank you for all the work that you do, as these videos are an integral part of her self-care. We may be having conversations about potentially doing something for December Advent this year. I'm hoping to implement a couple of things for December Advent this year. One is a little bit more concrete than another, but I don't want to spill too many details too soon, because if anything happens to sort of stop those, I would rather not disappoint than say something's going to happen and then disappoint. So there will be more info coming, but there is the potential that you guys will be able to do the same thing I am for December Advent. That's all I'm saying. There'll be more details coming soon. I hope that allows you to make plans-ish, or at least, you know, think about the possibility without giving too much information over what it fully is. But it will be coming. Information will be coming as and when things are finalised and sorted. Jackie, she says, Rebecca, she says, I know that you sell the bigger rings for your logbook. She says, but would it also be possible for you to sell the original size so that when we split our logbooks down and we have more than one smaller section, we can get the small rings to match? Yes, that is definitely a possibility. There are a few things logbook wise that we are looking at doing, you know, in relation to the extras and things like that, to bring out and a couple more options for people in relation to the logbooks. We are just waiting for the time for our more technical designer. The logbook has been designed by both Megan and myself, but Megan does a lot of the computer work. I do a lot of the telling her what to change and what I want sort of side of things, and until the school summer holidays she hasn't got a huge amount of time to dedicate to it. But yes, we will definitely be able to offer the smaller ring sizes. We're going to look at just bringing as many options as we can to you guys for the logbook, so that you can well and truly and fully make it work for you, your style, as much as possible, and give you as much scope to make it your own, and fill it with documenting the things that excite you. So a lot more of that will be coming soon. If you are desperate for the smaller rings and don't need any covers or anything, then by all means do bob us an email, and we can probably just do it where you order the bigger ones and we send you the smaller ones until we have chance to get everything finalised in the shop. Because I know I have 2 logbooks. I use 2. Mine both currently have the smaller rings, though I'm sure that I do have a set of bigger rings ready and available for when it gets to the point that I need them. And I like it that way. I do like having them split up rather than having too much information in one place. But that's a matter of what suits each person. And then Susan, she says, oh yes, she says the lavender. Oh, that one decided not to come off my pen. Okay. Glue dot's having a meltdown. Let's try that again. There we go. She says the lavender came out fantastic. So Susan's on a little mini catch up. She says she does love the ABs in the lavender one a lot. She says she always leaves a like along with her comments, so she knows immediately that she has watched that video. Thank you so much. Likes and subscriptions, etc. are all greatly appreciated. It all helps my YouTube channel to grow and for me to be able to keep giving free content. So thank you for that. She says she's just got back to diamond painting after her trip. She was exhausted and she was only gone 4 days. There is something about a trip that you just do far more than you would do at home. And I think even when you stop, it's not the same as relaxing at home. It's not the same level of relaxation as at home, which can make you feel more exhausted when you get back. She said the custom diamond painting that she did for her nephew and his new bride was a huge success. Awesome news. They had it displayed by the sign-in book and they loved it. There is nothing like appreciation, is there? She said she did take a picture and she will try to post it on the Facebook page. She says off to the next video, as she didn't even get halfway with her section. She said, thank you so much for sharing. Oh, you're more than welcome, Susan. Sherry, she said she is kitting up her mini tattoo paintings today. She said, good grief, the static is downright disrespectful. She says, but she just loves these kits. And the glowing spaceman is brilliant. She said, keep on waffling. Yeah, the static is a tester. It's a testing moment, is the static. I have put dryer sheets in my other 3 kits that I got at the same time as these 3. Because my first 3 kits, I think, weren't as bad with static. There were some bags that had it, but not all of them. But I did sit and I put a piece of dryer sheet in every single bag. I have not yet kit any up for taking away with us this weekend. So we will see what it is like. If I get to film the kitting up of one of them, because I will still film it, I'll just show it on my channel in July, even though I will have kit them up in June because I'm too busy waffling. If I get to kit it up, or as soon as I have got to kit it up and done the video of kitting it up, I will let you guys know in this waffle if it helped, just to save you time. People have advised me of a few different options for it, like cutting the bag open like long ways and tipping them onto a dryer sheet and then putting them into the pot. Apparently that really helps. I think there was a few other options as well. Somebody did say breathing in the bag, though I think I tried that on one of my bags and it didn't work as well. Maybe I didn't huff and puff as much as I should have done. But if not, I will be trying those options when I kit it up. It's been in there for a few days now, but the freezer didn't work. Whether it was in there for an hour or in there for a full day, it didn't make any difference. So hopefully the dryer sheets are the way to go. But stay tuned. At least you've got some waffles to listen to while you're kitting them up, Sherry. You've got a bit more time to be able to do it. The paintings are worth it. Static is more apparent on good drill quality, though you can get good drill quality without the static. It's not that they go hand in hand. Sometimes I think it is just about, you know, the preparation. Somebody did mention that a static gun is absolutely amazing for getting rid of the static. However, the cheapest one I found is about £50. I don't know if it's driving me mad that much, but if you know anybody that's got one that you can borrow, then do it. Susan has also commented. You can tell she was on a little watching spree while she finished her section. She said for a second she thought she had zoned out and missed the ending on the video on the 5th. But that was one of my videos that cut short on me. She says she does like this wave painting. She says it's very pretty. That's one of the museum art pieces. I think I actually still have that painting in a bigger one. I actually got sent about 3 of them. So a couple went in giveaways or mystery bags. And I think I've still got one. I can't quite remember now. She says she's not finished yet, so she's going to start the next one. She says, thanks so much for sharing. Well, the next one cut short as well, Susan. That was the 2 days that it cut short, so maybe it will equal itself out and help you play catch up. Corey says that they have a 5-year-old standard poodle, and they still have her baby teeth in a little jar. Oh, bless. She lost another tooth today, actually. I think it was more of a flat one further back rather than a little spiky one. I think I'd rather she lost the spiky ones first, because my goodness me, there's a few tops that I wear that are no longer for going out the house with, due to having little teeth marks in. But yeah, she lost another one today, but I don't think we'll be keeping them. I didn't even keep my kids' teeth, so I'm not about to keep the puppies. Nancy Smith, she says, thanks Rebecca, another good day for diamond painting. She watches my videos on her laptop. It's a good in between a small size and a full size TV. And she said she can see the details of the paintings, no problem. She says, see you tomorrow. That you will. Oh, thank you. So at least I know, and I know there's a few other comments on it as well that will come up, that the screen sizes seems to be, or the amount of zoom seems to be good for most people. And it's that cross between getting it good for most people, so that they can see what I'm doing, and also, you know, not cutting a load out because I've zoomed in too much and not moved myself around as I go diamond dotting all over it. Especially because I do, you know, each colour. So at the minute I'm going all the way around the outside because I'm doing all the green. I keep moving like pretty much the full size of the painting. It's not like I'm concentrating on a small section and then doing another section afterwards. So it's definitely easier. Juliet says awesome, and hugs from Utah. Hugs back to Utah, Juliet. Carp DM does diamond painting. Said they've been doing their Heaven and Earth design painting during June's paint along. It's a Randall Spangler's A Little Light Reading. They are some in-depth paintings, the Heaven and Earth designs. That's for sure. Mine is getting there. It's getting there. It's a long project. It will get there. And I will get some more of it done. At some point in the second half of the year, hopefully I can start picking that back up again and maybe still trying to get a bit more done as well. Just so that I can move on to my next big project, because I get excited for big projects. And sometimes a project gets completed before I move on, and other times, if it takes too long, I want to move on before it's completed. But I will get them done. I will get them done. So Kathy, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, I have a dilemma here, and since you've been doing diamond painting much longer than I, she said she got a package from Star Raw with a blue heart wax and a plain tray. She said she didn't order any of this. No receipt. The return address was Joe Doe in New York. She Googled the address and it said it was spam. She tried to contact Star Raw and it said the page could not be found. Has this ever happened to you? She said. It sounds really fishy. What is your suggestion as to what to do? She says she checked her credit cards, etc., and there's not been any charge yet. Star Raw do have a couple of websites, I think. I've actually been in discussion with one of their reps recently about showcasing some of their new licensed art, I think it is, paintings that are coming out. And I actually ended up on a website first that was in French, I think. Because I know I was trying Google Translate and I'm thinking, why am I having to do Google Translate? Because I've never had to before with them. It's always been in English. And I ordered a winter tree from them, and I've ordered some storage from them in the past. So I didn't know why it was showing up in French. And I think they have a couple of different domains that are in different languages. So do try starraw.com and see if you can get through to customer services that way. The only other thing I can think, I mean, I can't see how they can charge your card or anything. I would confirm if you use PayPal. I would double check there's no charge through PayPal for any particular reason, but it seems very weird for a spammer to order something and send it to your own address. The only other thing I can think is if you have ever maybe sent something to somebody as more of a gift, so maybe you've shared some spare diamonds with somebody, or you know, passed something on to somebody that maybe they've decided to give you a little gift in return. Maybe. I would have thought they would have said, though. It's one of those little mysteries as to how they've got your details. Did it have your name and address on the package? Or is it just something that has been delivered to your address, but there's nothing else on there that's yours, bar the address? So Kathy said she did go on their website to discuss it with them and hit the contact us, and the chat box came up. So she explained to them, but she didn't get any answers. She says she does wonder if somebody's ordered a kit from them and those items were missing from the box. So it wasn't even a full diamond painting. It was just blue heart wax and a paint tray. Ooh. Unless there's another company that's used Star Raw to maybe send you something. Maybe you've had another company that, because sometimes quite a few companies can actually operate under a few different names, but the umbrella company is different, and maybe they've got mixed up with that. So is there any other companies that you were short of something or expected something from, and maybe they've actually got Star Raw to distribute it because they're the same company? Maybe. I'm guessing, but some of those guesses might ring true with you. But that is a weird one. Especially if there's no diamond painting with it. If there's a diamond painting with it, at least you'd feel like you've got something. But yeah, that's all that I can think, is it's actually another company maybe sending it to you, that you've ordered from, that are actually part of the same umbrella company as Star Raw, and they've just done the branding wrong by accident. A weird one. If anybody else has had the same, do drop a comment down below for Kathy. Try and help her solve this little mystery that yeah, it's a little bit of a mystery. Anna, she says, thank you for another great waffle. Thank you for watching. And Fee says she's loving the whip and waffle. Definitely laughed, she said, when you said to write down where you store all the kits in your house. She says she has 3 places she stores hers. as her stash is, well, it feels like, she said, it's out of control. She said she would love to see a little Luna video of her antics. I'll have to see if the kids have any clips. I know they've taken the odd one of her, definitely when she's on her zoomies. She does like to run the full length of the conservatory. Occasionally, if the craft room door is open in there, she includes that in her circuit, though she knows she's not allowed in here. And by the time you get to tell her to get out, she's already out. Sometimes she includes the outside patio in her zooms as well. They're a bit hit and miss, zoomies. Tends to be more so if she's had a busy day. You know, maybe the postie's knocked a few times, and then maybe somebody's come round to visit, and she's still at the stage where she won't ignore anybody if they're about. So if they're up and about, especially at a weekend, if we're in and out doing stuff, or even just in and out of the room, doing different things, tidying up, she never settles as well then, as well as she does when it's just me and her. Yeah, she definitely likes to get the zoomies. I'll have to see if the kids have got any videos of her latest antics. Some of the best ones are when she gets her food. She's very eager. She does a little spin. She does a little jump and spin when food's involved. It's like a little extra twist that she likes to put on to say that she's really, really excited. Handcrafted by Helen. She says that she had a laugh at me talking about Luna and how she destroys her toys. She says, especially with any squeaky things inside. She says, we have a border collie who is even worse. Toys only last about 10 to 15 minutes if it has a squeak or a bell. It's all about destroying it to get them out, to get the squeak or the bell out. She says Bailey is also an excessive chewer, so she needs heavy duty bones and balls that are designed for dogs like her. She says, but boy, are they expensive. You can pay $40 to $50, she says, for just one toy. So needless to say, she doesn't have many. I am not surprised if they get destroyed. Yeah, we picked a couple of toys up actually the other day from Home Bargains. One was a crinkly sheep. I can't remember if it had a squeak in its head. She destroyed that one in less than 5 minutes. But I also picked up a snake for her with 3 different squeakers in it, in sort of different sections of the snake. But the material was, I'm trying to think what it's like. So like if you have, you know, a ground cover for a tent for going outside, that is woven, but it's also like waterproof material and quite toughly woven. And so far, she's only had it a few days, but so far the squeakers still work. They're also tougher squeakers. The snake has lost its tongue, but she wasn't interested when she pulled that off. That's the only sort of small sticky out bit it had. It took a while, but when she did take that off, she wasn't interested in chewing it. I think because it was so tough. And yeah, so far it is standing up to the test of time. We actually play tug of war with it, and it's standing up to it well and truly. And they get checked regularly. So I may have to get her a few snakes in different colours just because it's working so well. But yeah, we're forever on the lookout for... See, thing is, she has some of those nyla bones that are really, really hearty tough. that have like a little smell to them, but she'll play with them for about 5-10 minutes and then she's not interested anymore when the smell goes. And I think it's partly because the smell's gone and partly because I don't think it's helping her teeth to chew on them because they're that solid. She actually did better with, or they lasted slightly longer, and she definitely got more enjoyment out of them. The nyla bones that were a little bit soft. So she did end up chewing the ends off, and then we did feel that that was definitely enough small amounts of intake that did pass through, but small enough amounts that we did end up taking it off her. But it's that style that she will spend a good hour chomping on one of those, but because it does shed little bits, it's not the same. I feel like, you know, she's swallowing too much of it. She needs something that she can chomp her teeth into but not actually take bits away from. And I don't even know if it's possible to make something like that. So we'll just keep trying different things and realise that some toys just are not going to last. We do try and sort of cycle some of her toys as well. Some of the ones that do survive, we tend to, you know, shove them in the wash and then pop them into a bin under the sink and bring them out at different times and sort of cycle what she's got so that it stays fairly new. But quite often it's the string tug toys that she seems to have had the longest, and as long as somebody's willing to play tug with her, she's happy. Though losing her tooth today wasn't from tug, it was she got a treat and lost it. So now she's losing her teeth, we might have to watch out with too much tug of war. We don't want the poor pup to have no teeth to eat her dinner with. Gloria, she says the crafting that she has done in the past, she's made her own greetings cards. She worked with the Cricut cutting machine. She also does counted cross stitch, but she does it on plastic, not cloth. I've done some of them, some of the things that you can cut out or bookmarks and things like that. I know the stuff that you mean. She says now she's doing diamond painting. She says she loves it more than all the rest. I'm with you. She's from Missouri in the United States, and she says, I love your videos very much. She enjoys listening to my voice, and she just started diamond painting about 8 months ago, and she'll be 79 in September. Well, welcome to the club, Gloria. Yes, I love diamond painting. Absolutely love it. I've done a few different crafts, but diamond painting seems to be the one at the moment that is definitely sticking. Whether it'll be a phase or not, I don't think so. I think I enjoy the process too much, but you never know how life will evolve and how your thoughts and feelings will evolve. But I am loving it, and I will continue to do it as long as I do. But yes, welcome to diamond painting and the world of diamond painting, and everybody's such a lovely bunch as well, which makes it just as enjoyable, if not more so. It's always more enjoyable when everybody, you know, gets along and enjoys the hobby. Susan H, she says, thank you for sharing so much about Luna. She said she sounds adorable. She said it made her laugh when hubby approved the name for yelling it out. So hubby approved the name of Luna because he could see himself shouting Luna and not feeling funny. She says we certainly do that a lot when our fur babies are learning. She said we had a dog named Woody because of Toy Story. But when my daughter got a bit older, she said she was embarrassed to say his name out loud. Bless. That is the thing, isn't it? You do have to, it does have to be a name that you are happy to say very, very often when they are puppies, for sure. She says she's still working on her 2 projects, but she has added a 3rd. She's just started the blue and silver kitchen or tissue roll holder to use as a mini trash bin. So that is the one that I use when I'm kitting up as my bin. She said it's so pretty, and she's so glad that she found it through my channel / Facebook group. She said, happy anniversary. Oh, thank you, Susan. Yeah, I really like that tissue bin. I can't remember actually which company I got it from. Oh, I think it was from, I got it from one of the companies that I did an unboxing for. And I think a few people were able to get one, but then they removed it from their site. So I think there's now a link on the Facebook group to an alternative seller. But it just works. It just works for me for a kitting up. I think it's just because it because it stops the bits of plastic or the little slip bags that you cut. It stops them all popping out of the bin as well, because it does have that lid with a hole in the middle. I mean, they can still pop out the hole in the middle, but nowhere near as much as if it was just, you know, an open top bin. I seem to be able to get loads in there. Just cram it all in. Irene, she says, thank you for sharing your pictures. She says they're turning out so nice, and she said, glad that you're on the mend. Yes, definitely feeling a lot better. I know the past week or past half a week I've been able to go to bed a bit later without feeling absolutely exhausted. There's still some days that I am ready for a bed a lot earlier than I ever have been, because I am definitely more of a night owl than a morning person. I'm not a morning person at all. But yeah, I've definitely been able to stay up a lot later, which is another way that I know I'm sort of getting back to the right way of things, albeit a little bit slower than I'd like, but I'm getting there. And today I've managed to do some unboxings before doing this whip and chat, so that's good as well, because there are days that I do need to do, you know, more than one video, and there are times that I want to do more to be able to take days off but still have videos coming out, so it's good to have the energy to do that. Right, that is the second sort of orangey colour done, and now I am going to do the yellow, which is what I wondered whether to do in an AB. So let me just show you which one. So I don't have a huge amount of them, but I have 973 in an AB. But the colour is A307. And I think that this in an AB might be a bit too bright. But actually, having a look at it, it might work. Now I've actually done the colours, it might not work too bad. Let me tip some into my tray and maybe try a couple. Oh. Let's just... they might be a bit more subtle than one of these. Let's put one of each in. So they actually don't look as bright, or they don't to me. They do shine. Let's see if I can zoom you in any more. Okay, that's my full zoom. I don't know which one looks... No, I think it might look too bright because that yellow, it doesn't help that the light's shining off it, which always makes it look different. But the yellow looks really bright on the Paint Gem website, but I'm actually wondering if, because this one is slightly darker, even though it's got the AB coating on, whether it'll look a little bit better. They're very, very similar. So this, oh, will it focus? If I put them both together sort of upside down, they're very, very similar in colour, if not the same. One is slightly lighter than the other. Do I want bling? Do I want bling on here? Let me have a quick look at the painting again. See, it's quite bright, and part of me thinks, well, if it's quite bright anyway, let's make it full AB bright. Do I have enough? That is the other question. Do I even have enough to make it all AB? I do have some more in here. Oh, let's go for AB. Let's just do it. Let me take off the standard diamond. Because when I'm looking at it from here, and I know the full zoom in does look different, and when the lights are shining off the ABs, they do definitely look different to what they do to me. Because while the lights are directed at the desk, it's a different angle. They actually look a little bit more subdued, but say when I look at the Paint Gem website, the yellow actually stands out quite a bit anyway. So why not make it stand out with sparkle rather than stand out anyway. I'm just going to do the big one first before I do. Let me just zoom out a little bit again. Which way am I going? You'd think I'd know this camera by now, wouldn't you? Every single diamond painting video has been done on this camera and I still can never figure out which way for the zoom. I'm just going to do the big sunflower first, just to confirm I have enough ABs. And then I will move to the top if I do. I've still got a few more in my pack. So I've definitely got more ABs than what are currently in my tray. But I didn't want to tip out too many. Okay, decision made. I'm on it. Nellie, she says she's still doing her crazy dogs painting. And then once she's finished that, she's going to be doing her crazy cats painting. Are they the ones that look like they're talking, Nellie? Is that the crazy dogs and crazy cats ones? They're the ones that spring to mind when you say it, but I might be wrong. Colouring with Lou, she says, wow, she says you nailed it with the glow in the dark drills, and that was on the 9th of June. She says that was such a fun painting, thank you. Diamond Sparkle Chase says, glad to watch the Spaceman is so cute glowing, so that's the painting that I did on the 9th. She said summer isn't here yet in Texas. She says we've been in the 100-degree heat. The high yesterday, she says, was 105, and the next few days will be in the hundreds. She says fun, and then she shows lots of fire and very warm faces. Sounds like you are going to be loving any air conditioning where you are. Right, let me just tip in the rest of these ABs, and at least then I know how many I have. I think these were left over from my Minions painting, if I remember rightly. So So these will be Diamond Art Club left over from that. So if I can get this sunflower done, that's 2 paintings done with diamonds from the one. Liz Harrison, she said she just wants to give a big thank you to Paint Gem customer service. She ordered 2 sets of mini paintings, and she did get an email to say sorry that they had sent out, one of the sets they'd sent out to her was incorrect. They sent details to enable to get the correct set, and they told her to keep the set that was sent to her in error. She said all 3 sets actually arrived yesterday. She says, brilliant customer service. Awesome to hear. She said she always judges a company, she says, not because they made a mistake, but how they deal with it. I agree. Mistakes can happen. Either side of, you know, the deal, whether it's a company making a mistake or even potentially a customer making a mistake. But it's whether, you know, that mistake is put right or attempts are made to put that mistake right that can make a huge difference. So I'm glad to hear that you got the amazing customer service from Paint Gem. Of course, I speak to a sort of different department in relation to it, but they are one of the best departments that I've dealt with. Yeah, one of the best companies that I have dealt with, worked with, you know, with their communication and all that sort of stuff. It's not just about, to me, it's not just about, you know, what they may or may not send you. It's their interaction with them makes a huge difference. And they have been absolutely top notch. Enjoy your 3rd set. What was your 3rd set, Liz? In fact, what were all 3 of the sets? I'm kind of interested now. I love hearing what sets people have been picking up and which ones people have enjoyed doing. It always interests me. Steph, she says, your youngest is not going to be happy with you thinking that they're still 13. Yeah. Well, if it was one of my girls, oh, in fact, it was one of my girls, wasn't it? Youngest, 13, instead of 18. Do you know what? She'd probably just say, oh, Mum. I thought I'd said it about my son then. And, yeah, he probably wouldn't have. He'd have just gone, yeah, whatever. But, yeah, they're pretty good at forgiving me for stuff like that. They probably repeat the story a lot and get quite a bit of mileage out of it. But yeah, they realise I don't do it necessarily on purpose. There's just too many of them. I have to think sometimes how old some of them are. And then count back from there. I can reel off all the birth dates, I can reel off all the birth weights, but actually remembering what year we're in. Now they're getting over the 20, some of them. Well, 3 of them are over 20. It gets harder. Okay, I've just noticed I've just put 1 in another flower, but this is how many ABs that I've got left. And that is not going to do all the way around there and all the way around there. So I think I'm going to take that one out, find my tweezers, because of course I propped it right in the middle of 4 other diamonds. I'm going to take that AB out, because I did tip them all in out of my baggie, and that bag is completely empty. I'm going to pop those away, which may or may not ever appear in another painting. Could be the centre of a flower maybe. And I'm going to do the others in the colour it's supposed to be, which is actually brighter, and we'll just have a focus on this one. And considering this is a partial painting, I'm sure this is getting close to taking me longer than some of the others have. Maybe I've waffled too much. Who knows? Let's carry on with it. Sarah Jane, she said she loves doing a few crafts too. She does wax melts and has done for the last few years. She says she also loves that. See, if I actually melted things like wax melts and things like that, I could see myself having that as, you know, a mini hobby that wouldn't necessarily be something I want to or take part in every day. But every now and then, for a little change, I could do a batch of them. I just don't use wax melts. I have a couple of candles that I really like the smell of that I've been bought, and most of the time I even forget to put them on. It's not an automatic thing for me, and I think, you know, because of that, it's just never something that has entered my head to even think about doing. But I could imagine there are some hobbies that are something that you could, you know, maybe do if you've got a day where you think, oh, I fancy doing something, what shall I do? And do and create something like that. Yeah, I can imagine that being fun. Okay. Susan Jacobs, I keep forgetting there is quite a few different Susans and quite a few Nancys as well, I think, that comment on here, and quite a few Jackies, I'm pretty sure. So apologies if I do end up, if you hear your name and think I didn't write that, it could be a different one with the same name, a different person, quite easily. So yeah, Susan Jacobs, she says she really loves the stair step method for placing squares. So yeah, this is where if you've got a block of diamonds, you just do it as steps, a bit like I've just done there, and then you'd nestle the next row in. It can really help to keep your squares straight. In fact, I prefer it over checkerboard. She says she does like to use a curved tips in her pens also. She says it makes it easier to see where she is placing her diamonds. She loves all of my tips. She says she's learnt so much. Good. That's the idea. Pass it on. There are many tips that come from viewers and watchers, and then tips of things that, to be honest, sometimes I don't even realise that it's a tip that I'm doing until somebody tells me, because to me it's just the way I've always done it. But I love the fact that this YouTube, you know, I was here in the life before YouTube and went to school before the internet was huge and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know, it's one of those things that has appeared in my life and grown. And I don't think I've realised it, but I depend on it. I love a good Google of something when I'm not sure. But yeah, it's amazing that we have this, you know, option to do things like watch YouTube on hobbies and learn more. And I think that's what can help so many hobbies to grow the way they have. The fact that the information can get out there for people to find. Otherwise, can you imagine some of the frustrating things that you may have had, you know, maybe with one of the first few diamond paintings that you purchased or something. Maybe you had something wrong with it or something that wasn't quite right and you didn't know how to fix it. And, you know, because there's Facebook and groups and YouTube, you found out that somebody else has experienced it before and this is how you fix it, and you fix it and you get on and you enjoy your diamond painting. But if it wasn't for all those people about, you you very well may have given up and thrown it and never touched diamond painting again because you figured that was the same for everything. You got to love the good parts of the internet and protect yourself from the bad. The cat lady, she says, hope you have a great 25th anniversary. Thank you. She says, and your son has a good 18th birthday. 21st for my son. But I said one of my kids was 13. So that was out of whack. So, but yeah, my son is looking forward to like a barbecue family get together on his birthday. She said she celebrated their 25th anniversary along with her husband's 60th and her 50th. She said they all fell within the same year. She says with a trip to New England and Canada in the fall. She said it will be our 34th anniversary this December. Wow. She said, doesn't time fly? It does. Sometimes it's frightening. This year has flown. This year really has. I still can't believe we're in June. I can't believe we're very nearly halfway through June. And in turn halfway through the waffle. I can't believe that that's coming up. I think sometimes time needs to slow down and just let us all breathe a minute, take a minute, and then go again. We need a pause button like we've got on the TV. That's what we need. I remember the days when we didn't used to be able to pause. Do you know I used to get loads of housework done when there was no pause, and I used to actually stop myself from pausing as well sometimes, because I found in those 3-minute adverts I could get all sorts done, and then I could go back to watching the TV and then, you know, enjoying whatever show I was watching, and then get up and buzz about on the next set of adverts, and I'd get loads done. Now I just sit and diamond paint and fast forward if I need to, if I'm actually watching TV at all. 2010196 Iffy. She says she likes the ABs in the smaller closed tulips, but she's not so sure about the bigger open tulip. She said maybe there are too many in the open tulip. She's not sure. She says we'll see what other people think. I think I do get what you're saying in relation to the ABs in the tulip. I think some of it as well is, even though tulips do open, it's sort of like the last thing that they do, isn't it? Tulips, it's the last thing they do is open. They spend most of the time as buds, and I think it's just the fact that it's an open tulip as much as the fact of the ABs looking different. I'm just kind of not used to an open tulip. The cat lady, she actually said, the flowers at the base of the flower look like tulips, but the top of the flower, she says, though pretty, is not very tulip-like. She says, but it all still looks pretty. I get it. I think the same. It's like here with this sunflower. This is a sunflower that's not yet opened. Of course, they do grow like that. But this, to me, is a sunflower, not this. And I think it's the opposite way round with the tulip. It's the tulip buds that speak tulip to me. And the other one, I think I'm going to leave the ABs and I'm just going to consider the other flower as not a tulip. I think that's just the way I'm going to see it. In fact, can I grab it quickly? How many days ago was it from when I'm doing... There it is. So I think they're tulips to me. That's another flower. And if I look at it that way, then I'm A-okay. I think the ABs in that flower look fine. the ABs trying to tell myself that's a tulip don't work as well. But maybe that's just me. Anyway, that is enough waffling for today, because I will be back tomorrow with more. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll speak to you all again soon.